Hello and welcome to this episode of Crate Conversations. I'm very excited to be here today with our Township Engineer Elissa Commins.
Hello.
We are going to talk about everyone's second favorite topic after traffic. Second favorite topic is, when is my road going to get paved? Or what is the process for my road getting paved? So I thought it was a great idea to bring you on today to talk about what that process is, what sometimes holds up the process, and how we work through getting our roads paved here in Brick Township. So thank you for coming today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It is a process. So we try to pave roads on a worst is first basis, and we amass a lot of information on which roads are in bad shape. Historically, we did that based on complaints that went to the mayor's office or from Public Works. We would even talk to the mailmen because they drive the same streets every day, and most of them don't live in town, so there's no bias there. They're pretty subjective about which roads they think are terrible.
Exactly.
And based on the list of complaints we had, we would go out and rank them. I did it with another engineer and 4 inspectors, and every one of us would rate a road from 1 to 10, and I would give each road a weighted average, and we would come up with our worst areas, and that would amass the pavement recommendations for next year. These neighborhoods should be paved. Occasionally we get like an isolated roads project where there's one road that's really bad, but the rest of the neighborhood is not too bad. We would try to like bid 7 roads scattered around town for paving. Once we had our list together for recommendation, depending on how much funding we received in the capital budget, we would get design contracts for these roads where you hire an engineering firm and they put plans and specs together. One of the first things they're supposed to do is notify utility companies.
Right.
Saying, we plan on paving these roads, can you send us your plans and let us know if you have anything in the pike for utility replacement on them. That can delay a job.
Sure.
If a road is scheduled to have a gas main renewal or it needs new water or sewer mains, there's no point in us even considering funding it for construction.
Right. That's just like pouring good money after bad, right?
Correct. Now, if they do a project, they typically have to pave a road. You know, if they're doing a gas main renewal or a sewer replacement, they're responsible to pave it when they're done. However, if it's a road I was going to pave anyway, and they say we kind of want to get in there first, we'll pave it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just to be fair.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I know that that process for now analyzing the roads has changed.
Yes.
And we have something now called Vialytics.
So last November, we contracted with Vialytics, where we actually mount iPhones on the sanitation trucks that pick up recycling. And Vialytics takes a picture of the road every 10 to 15 feet. And when the trucks come back in, the photos are uploaded to Vialytics, and it gives each photo, AI gives each photo a ranking. It assesses for cracking, for potholes, pavement condition, and based on the ranking of each photo in a string, each segment of road gets evaluated. It comes up on a computer screen, a map of the whole town, where roads that are in good condition are shown in bright green, and roads that are in terrible condition are shown in a deep,
Really dark red. Yeah, I've seen that.
Purple,
Yeah.
almost like a maroon.
Yeah.
But it's very useful in evaluating every road in town. I mean, it used to be very reactive. I couldn't believe how many roads we had that were not in great shape that no one ever complained about.
Sure. Sure.
It has its limitations, but it's been very useful in evaluating everything in a subjective manner.
Yeah.
There's
or
no
objective.
Yes,
it took the subjectivity away,
Correct.
right? Yeah, and now it's like an objective, like we can look at each road and say, it's been ranked, right?
It needs an inspection. You can't completely rely on the AI. So once I have the list together, we still go out and evaluate them independently and inspect them. You need a set of eyes on it all the time.
Oh, of course.
But it's very useful in evaluating every road exactly the same way.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also picks up potholes, damages with signs. It has a new feature. It's just starting to evaluate lane striping.
Okay.
So it'll let me know when the striping on a section of road is in poor shape and needs to be addressed. The nice thing about it is you can see the photos.
Right.
So quite often you'll call me and say, I have a woman at 123 Smith Street, and I can look at whatever photos are available in front of her home the last time we drove it.
Sure.
Couple of the limitations we have right now is it only takes photos when it's light enough. And our garbage trucks go out at 6 in the
Very
morning.
early, yes.
So we're just starting now to think about remounting the cameras on the trucks and getting another cycle of collection.
Right.
Because there were whole streets that weren't getting done because they're getting done 6 to 7 in the
Sure.
morning, and it wasn't light enough to get a photo until 7:15.
Okay, all right. And for the striping, that includes stop lines and all those things as well,
So
right?
any paint it sees, it will pick up, and it'll evaluate it for fading, for consistency.
Sure. Is that for signage too, you said? Did you mention signage? So like our stop signs and things like that?
So it evaluates, I believe now it's up to 200 MUTCD standard signs.
Okay,
So that stands for Manual and Uniform Traffic Control Devices.
very exciting.
Yes, because in theory, a stop sign here is exactly the same as a stop sign
Right.
in Russia.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's supposed to be uniform throughout the world so you can drive and
And you essentially know what the sign is even if you can't read what the word on it is.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's amazing. So we did mention utility companies, and you noted that if a utility company is coming in within, and I know we have an ordinance, I believe, for every 5 years. If something's going to be dug up within 5 years, then we tend to wait to make those big repairs because it would just get dug up again.
Correct.
Yeah, and the funding for these goes through our capital budget.
Majority of it, yes.
Yeah, and
Occasionally
this-
we're lucky enough to get a grant from the DOT, but mostly it's capital funding.
Yeah, that's always great. I love the grants. We love the grants, but we are funding the most in this capital budget for 2026, and we haven't a long time for road paving.
We have a long list of roads on the design list this year, which is
Yeah.
exciting. So we probably have about 10 projects that are funded for design. Assuming, if you're funded for design this year, assuming there's no utility work planned, we don't run into an issue where there's a massive amount of drainage that has to be reconstructed, we'll proceed with the plans and ask for construction money in the following capital budget.
Right. So that's an important thing that you just brought up, design. So when we decide that a road needs to be paved and we want to pave that road, that does not mean that the road is getting paved the year that we decide.
Typically, no.
Yeah.
No, it goes out for engineering design, the utility notifications go out, plans are prepared, and they're circulated with our purchasing department, our public works, traffic safety, and engineering, and we all collectively take a look at them
Okay.
and identify any issues that may need to be incorporated into the design, or maybe the limits of paving need to be extended a little based on what funding we have available.
Sure.
But that's the majority of the limits of a paving project are typically restricted by the funding
Okay.
allocated for that
Yeah.
project.
So to be clear, it's not like paving your driveway, right? Where you have someone come in, they either, I haven't had my driveway paved in years, but they might dig up what's there, reset it, and then put down some asphalt. When it comes to road paving, there's a lot more into it. There has to do with pitch of the road, drainage, and things like that play a huge role into not just slapping down macadam, essentially, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And the underlying soil condition, because if you have bad soil or a tree stump that was buried 50 years ago, that may have to be excavated and the whole road may have to be reconstructed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, yes, we know this road needs to be paved, and you're not just essentially laying asphalt on top of old. There's a
No.
lot of times it's completely dug up, or maybe it's
At a minimum, you scratch the surface with a milling machine just to make sure you have a good adhesion between the two courses and a tack coat is put in place.
That's awesome. That's really good. So if people have questions about their roads or concerns, I know they often reach out to my office. We have a lot of communication with the engineering office. It's not that we don't communicate at all, for sure. We have a great communication. I appreciate all the work that you do and all the work that your team does.
Thank you.
To get our roads paved throughout town. And just to revisit, if you happen to know, how many roads or how many roads or miles of roads are we responsible for here in Brick?
We have, I believe, 257 roads.
Okay.
I forget the exact centerline miles of it, but it's something like 1,100 lane miles.
Oof.
Which is a lane mile is like a 12-foot wide section.
Sure.
Some roads are 24 feet wide, some roads are 36 feet wide. A lane mile is what typically you pave in. A paver goes 12 feet.
Right, it's only
wide.
going to be one side and then the other side.
So as the dorky engineer that I am, I think about lane miles.
Right,
and
right.
It's 1,100 lane miles.
That's a lot. Well, we're going to keep working to get roads paved that need to be paved. And now that we have Vialytics, it helps us determine how those roads are paved. And then, as we noted, if the gas company comes in and tears your road up, or the electric company comes in, or MUA, they typically are responsible for repaving those roads.
Correct.
Yeah, and we have a lot of those projects going on right now around town, actually.
We do, actually. We have, I believe, Sky Manor's being restored. We have some areas in midstreams, Thiel Road and a couple of other streets off of Thiel Road. It's escaping me right now what other areas we have in town, but I know the gas
Quite a
company,
few, though.
they've
Yeah.
done a lot of renewal work in town
Yeah.
over the last year or two.
That's great.
And once we pave a road, there's a 3-year limit on opening it. So if you have to build a new house on a road that we recently repaved, we make you bond to repave the road in front of the frontage of your house, which is a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
However, if you do a very nice job with your patches and do an infrared repair, you get your money back. We just ask
good.
for the bonds in the event that, your contractor doesn't do such a nice job
Right,
in the
right.
restoration.
Want to make
of
sure that
utility
those roads
patches.
stay nice. Once we invest millions into getting them paved,
Correct.
we want to make sure they stay nice. So,
Yes.
well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming today and explaining everything that you do.
Happy to be here.
I'm happy to get more roads paved this year and put some more money into that capital.
Me too.
It's fun to get that done, right? And help out our residents. So thank you so much for joining us today. There's some images of Vialytics and what that looks like up on your screen throughout this program. And I hope the information was helpful in answering any questions you might have about how do I get my road paved or when is my road getting paved. Thanks so much for joining us and have a great day.